Went book shopping today. Let's see what I got. Hey, I'm Kathy Ellen. I am a mama, a teacher, a reader, a writer, a Ninja Warrior athlete, and I love independent bookstores. I went to Scrawl Books in Reston, Virginia because there was an author doing an event. I didn't make it in time for the author, but I picked up a copy of the author's book, and I had a couple other ones that I was thinking about getting, and then ended up walking out with 7 books. So here's what we got. We've got This Is My Brain, a book on neurodiversity by Elise Gravel. I absolutely love all of Elise Gravel's work. The illustrations are so fun. I have a spicy brain and I teach 4 and 5-year-olds, so I thought this would be a really fun way to look at the idea that all brains look the same, but every brain works differently. Next up, I noticed this on the shelf. I absolutely love Jandy Nelson. If you have watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about I'll Give You the Sun, which is one of my all-time favorite books. I've reread it a couple times, and every time that I read it straight through. Even though I know exactly what's going to happen, I just get swept up in the story. This is her 3rd book. Absolutely loved her 1st book too. I'll put it in the description, and I cannot wait to get into it. I just saw the spine and I was like, the Jandy Nelson book is out? How did I miss that? Because things were going on. It's okay. But now I have it, When the World Tips Over. Look how beautiful the cover is. What does this book have? I'm glad you asked. With rivalries, road trips, family curses, love stories within love stories within love stories, and sorrows and joys passed from generation to generation, this is the intricate, luminous tale of a family's complicated past and present, and only in telling their stories can they hope to rewrite their futures. It's about 3 siblings, ages 12, 17, and 19, and a mysterious girl who comes in and rocks their world. It is a young adult novel. Cannot wait to read this. The next 2 I actually got as recommendations from Scrawl's social media, although I knew about one of them before. First up is the ABA Right to Read Handbook, Fighting Book Bans and Why It Matters. I think this is a really important topic, even more so now, to have all the information about this because we're going to need to fight book bans. And I know the author. I met her at a book selling conference and she is amazing. I worked on a project for another book selling conference with her, and I cannot wait to read all of the great stuff in here and just have this information that I can share with other people and give this as a recommendation. We've also got It's Not Hysteria, everything you need to know about your reproductive health, but we're never told. I think this is self-explanatory as well. I'm happy to have this in my personal library so I can lend it out to people if they need some information. Also, love the cover. Love the colors, love the imagery. Perfect. Here's the book that I went to that the author was there. It's called Beyond Self-Care Potato Chips, Choosing Nourishing Self-Care in a Quick Fix Culture. I love reading personal growth books, and I absolutely hate any book that is shoved with toxic positivity and just like visualize it and it will happen, and also doesn't acknowledge that we need to have time for this and we need to live in a society where people are cared for. My friend who works at the bookstore absolutely loves this author, recommended this book to me. My friend knows me very well and would not recommend me a book that is not good. So I am very excited to get into this book, not only because she kind of rails at MLMs in here, which are multi-level marketing companies, which are no good. I got this little one, a self-defense study guide for trans women and gender non-conforming / non-binary AMAB folks. Written by trans fighters in Oakland based on generous community members' advice. I wanted to make sure I knew it was in here so I could recommend this book to people that may need it. And I'm probably going to put it in my little free library after so it can make its way out into the world and get into more people's hands. Finally, I heard amazing things about this book. All Fours by Miranda July. The library wait is really long, which likely means there's lots of holds on it. So when I'm done reading it, I'm going to bring it to the library so they can put it in their system and people don't have to wait as long for holds. Let me just read you this little tiny bit. Ready? A semi-famous artist announces her plan to drive cross-country from Los Angeles to New York City. 30 minutes after leaving her husband and child at home, she spontaneously exits the freeway, checks into a nondescript motel, and immerses herself in an entirely different journey. It says, once again, July hijacks the familiar and turns it into something new and thrilling, profoundly alive. I don't know about you, but that sounds amazing. So there you have it. Not too bad. Definitely more than I went in wanting to get, but very happy with all my choices. And hopefully I'll get back to you soon with how I think these books are. Until next time, happy reading.